Adaptation for blending with the surroundings. We cannot easily spot colorful butterflies, lizards, and grasshoppers. They get camouflaged amidst grasses. Parts of plants like stem, leaves, flowers, etc. That is because their color blend with those of their surroundings. So you see, there are different colorful butterflies, lizards, and grasshoppers are there. Why they are there? They get camouflaged amidst grasses. They can hide very easily with their colorful nature that matches with the stem, leaves, and flowers of the plants. Okay. Changes that take place in the various organs and life process of organisms that enable them to live, feed, reproduce, to perpetuate themselves and protect themselves from their enemies in specific surroundings, depending upon the habitat and its geographical condition, are called adaptations. So some are making adaptation with the color of their body. So what is adaptation? Adaptation is not a sudden process. It is a gradual and continuous. Differences in the structure and appearance of the present day animals and animals of thousands of years ago are the adaptation that occurred according to prevailing condition. It is our duty to conserve this diversity. So to protect the small animals, okay, so we have to prevent this diversity for life on the earth. Okay, so there is a Darwin's theory of evolution. He is a great scientist. Charles Darwin, a biologist, studied numerous types of plants and animals and suggested that only those organisms are likely to survive which can best adapt themselves to a changing environment. This is called the theory of survival of the fittest. This is Darwin's first principle. So for those will adapt with the change with the environment, they only survive. And that theory is called survival for the fittest. In an organism is born with a new beneficial characteristics and is able to survive. This change is preserved in the next generation. This is Darwin's second principle and it is called the theory of natural selection. So if an organism is born with new beneficial characteristics and is able to survive, he only live, he will not be. It is called natural selection. So this is a classification of living organism. The next topic. Why are the living things classified? Which are the criteria used for classification of plants and animals? So we'll get this answer here. So see, it is difficult to study and remember all the organisms in this diverse living world at the same time. Classification helps in this respect. Different scientists have used different criteria and independently classified plants and animals. A hierarchy is formed in this classification that starts with kingdom Animalia or kingdom Plantae. Further groups are subgroups are formed depending upon basic similarities and differences. This is called the hierarchy of classification. So what is the hierarchy of classification? Is a group Plantae and Animalia is the main group and there are some subgroups and depending upon similarities and differences they are classified. So here there is hierarchy. Mango and human are the two examples. So kingdom of mango is Plantae, human Animalia. Phylum Anthophylla, human Chordata. Class Dicotyledon for human Mammalia. Order Sapindales for human primates. Family is Ancardiaceae for human Hominidae. Genus Mangifera for human Homo. For and hierarchy, the species is Indica, and for human it is Sapien.
So next topic is binomial nomenclature by Carl Linnaeus.
So we have seen if there are 4 students of the same name, Kabir and Kiran, how we identified them with their first name and the last name. The same way, binomial nomenclature is used to identify each organism according to a scientific name has assigned to each organism. It consists of two parts. The first part is genus and second part is species, as we have seen in above this chart. So here hierarchy. Here we have to take genus and species. These two we have to take. For mango, what will be the name then? Mangifera indica. For human it is Homo sapien. This is the scientific name for human, Homo sapien. You have heard this name. Okay, so this is a scientific name. Okay, this is binomial nomenclature or called binomial name. So first is genus and second is species. All identified organisms have been assigned a binomial name as per the guidelines of International Code of Nomenclature. All the organisms of a species are so similar that irrespective of differences in color, height, habitat and habit, they can reproduce among themselves and form new individuals like themselves. For example, all domestic cats in the world belong to the same species. Their species is same all over the world. The same is true in the case of animals like hen, cow, dog, etc. Plants like mango, wheat, maize. The international name is same for this mango tree all over the world. Name is all over the world. You know that there are different languages are spoken. So dog may be called somewhere with another name, but its scientific name is same all over the world. If the scientific name is taken in international, we can identify it anywhere. Okay, so like this, all animals have a scientific name depending where they are living, in Africa or America or Australia. Their scientific name is there. So following are some examples of organisms from kingdom Plantae and Animalia classified by the binomial method of nomenclature. Okay, so living thing is given here. Living things are dog, cow, hibiscus, jawar. Scientific name क्या है? What is the scientific name of dog? Canis lupus familiaris. Cow, Bos taurus. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Jowar, sorghum bicolor. Find the scientific name of other animals and plants in your surrounding and discuss in the class. So 29th April is observed as a World Frog Protection Day. Killing and harming frogs is prohibited by the Wildlife Protection Act. So we have to protect each and every animal in the world. We should not kill them for the fun. Okay, so these are the end of the lesson. You have to complete this exercise and write in your notebook. Okay, and you have to put photograph in the group.